Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about Rush. Last week, we talked about tips and tricks. Had 10 of those for you. If you're a beginner or even if you're a veteran, you should go check it out after watching this video, of course, but the link is in the description down below. Today, we're going to focus on Rush. We did talk about the game modes inside of that video, and I wanted to make sure that we focused in on Rush because it has become very popular here lately, and that's not surprising. Rush has been a part of Battlefield for a very long time. So, in this video, we're going to break down the details of how to play Rush, what your overall strategy should be, and what you should be looking out for. And maybe along the way you become a better player. Or maybe you've actually been playing Rush for a while and these are things that you just were not aware of. Now, before we get started, I want to let you know that I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you have any questions about this game mode, another game mode, feel free, pop in, ask away in the chat. Also, we have a Discord. So if you're looking for a squad or you just want to chat with some other people about weapons or any of the other strategies that we've talked about today, yeah, jump in with us. Link in the description down below. Now, Rush is currently only in Portal. So if that's what you're wanting to play, then you need to go to the Portal inside of Battlefield 2042 to play Rush. And that goes for all the versions of Battlefield Rush that we're talking about. Anything that's inside Battlefield 2042 Portal, that's what we're talking about. It's exactly the same. I don't care if you're playing with Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, whatever the case is, this is all the same information. So don't worry, we don't need different things. Rush is the same. Pretty much Rush is going to be played the same across the entire Battlefield franchise. There's a couple of differences and I'll point them out as we go along, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. Now, while I'm going over all of this, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the attacking team because that's really the most important part. If you're a defender and you understand what the attacking team is doing, then you'll be better prepared. If you're attacking, then you'll be better prepared. So everything that I'm going to be talking about really and truly is focused around the attacking team. Okay? All right, let's jump into it. First and foremost, Rush is split into two teams. You have your attackers and you have your defenders. The number of sectors that you have to take depends on the map. Some maps have more, some have less. But for the most part, there's usually 2 MCOM stations per sector. And there's average of, I think, about 4 sectors total in most games. The ones I've played so far in 2042. The attackers have a limited number of tickets. When you bleed out, you burn a ticket. That means the ticket is gone. Previous games, it used to be where you would spawn back in, you would burn the ticket. But in 2042, if you bleed out, you lose a ticket. You only have 70 tickets to take the sector. In order to take the sector, you have to arm the MCOM stations with an explosive charge. You do that by getting up to the MCOM station and interacting with it. On PC, that's E, and PlayStation, I believe that's square. Whatever you do to interact with something, that's the button that you'll hit. You have to hold it, and then time will tick down, and it will activate and arm the objective. Quick side note here, after reviewing this and editing it at the moment, I discovered that the interaction button is actually kind of hard to see. I don't know why I didn't notice it before, but if you don't pay attention to it, you don't realize that you're actually interacting with it. I think that's been a big problem. I think the way they used to have it was a circle, that you could see the circle kind of winding up. In the current version of Rush in Battlefield 2042, it slowly goes from white to off-white, which is weird. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to interact with the MCOM. Now, once the MCOM station charges have been set, you have 30 seconds before it explodes. So you need to defend that MCOM station with everything that you have. Be mindful of when you bleed out, and we'll go over more of this later, but the game can end when you bleed out. As a defender, you need to stop them. And then again, you have 30 seconds to disarm the MCOM station. And it's the same process. Once you get to the MCOM station and you've cleared it out, you need to interact with the MCOM station. Once you interact with it, just hold the button and you will disarm the MCOM station. Now, I said earlier that we're going to focus on just the attacking team, but I want to say this about defenders. If you're defending, keep in mind you don't have tickets, so you don't have to wait for a revive. If you feel like that you're in a good spot, by all means, hold on. But in most cases, if you're down, more than likely that you're covered and you're probably in a bad spot. So go ahead and bleed out as quickly as possible and get back to the point. That way you can help your team defend and you're not outnumbered. That's really the best advice I have for defenders. If you want to defend and you want to get back in the action as quickly as possible, do it. Don't worry about your KD ratio. If you're defending, just get back in the action quickly. Now, there are vehicles on Rush, but there are a very limited number of vehicles, and you cannot spawn into them. You need to spawn into your HQ and go pick up a vehicle. So keep that in mind when you're trying to use a vehicle. They're very limited in numbers. Now, once you take that sector, you get your tickets back. The defenders need to leave the area. When I said that there was a little something different about 2042 than previous games, normally if you are a defender and you're caught behind the enemy line, in other words, the attacking team just took both MCOM stations, they've taken the sector, so the defender needs to get out of that area or the countdown timer will start, and if they don't get out within a certain amount of time, they'll go down like they're out of bounds. But for some reason in this game, that doesn't necessarily happen. So the defenders can actually still be in the taken sector and they can start burning your attacking team's tickets. So if they take you out and you bleed out, that's a ticket gone. Now, there's actually a way to save tickets. If your attacking team has taken the sector and you are waiting for a countdown for the next sector to become available, if you are in a down state, you can go ahead and bleed out and not lose a ticket. I know, you're probably thinking, Jake, but you said don't bleed out. Yeah, but there's a time and a place, and this is the right time because you're in that in-between place so that you can go ahead and bleed out because you're waiting on that next sector. But if you wait around until that next sector is available because you thought somebody was going to come and pick you up, well, guess what? If you bleed out, you just lost a ticket for your team because the next sector is now active. Remember, you only get 70 tickets, so pay attention. There's a good time to bleed out. There's a bad time to bleed out. Now, a good time to bleed out is when you are covered by the enemy. So if you're an attacker and you get knocked and you are down and you're covered, in other words, the enemy has direct line of sight on you, don't wait for somebody to come pick you up because more than likely, they're going to get down. And then the next person, they're going to get down. It could be a domino effect that you caused, and next thing you know, you've lost all of your tickets because people are trying to pick each other up. Look, I understand people want to get picked up, but you really have to have a kind of a sense about when this is good and bad. This is a bad time. Go ahead and bleed out. Like I said, there's a good time to bleed out and a bad time to bleed out. In this situation, you're going to go ahead and have to burn that ticket because you don't want to be the cause of a domino effect of ticket loss. Now, you're probably asking me, Jake, what's the best specialist I should play? Medic. Everybody should be playing Medic. Look, first and foremost, if you're playing Medic and you're picking people up, thank you. You are a true battlefielder. You are helping your squad. You're helping your team. You can play any style that you want to, and the specialist that you can play that'll probably help out is going to be medics. Now, again, I think Irish is really good with his shields and his apps and that destroy incoming explosive projectiles. That's useful. But you need a lot of medics when you're attacking. So something to think about. If you are picking people up, make sure that you're using cover. Make sure that the person that you're trying to pick up is not covered by the enemy. And if they are, put smoke on the enemy, or if that doesn't work, put smoke on the person you're trying to pick up. That's called concealment. It's not cover, it's concealment, but at least they can't see you. That way you can back away from it. And also, if you're going to use smoke, again, put it on the enemy. Do not put it on your teammates. Put it on the enemy because you want them to come out of their cover, their concealment, so that you can easily take them out. Putting smoke on your teammates could make you very vulnerable, so be aware of that. Remember when I said there's a good time to bleed out and a bad time to bleed out? Well, one of the worst is when you are low on your ticket count and you're about to take the MCOM station. To take a sector, again, you need to take out 2 MCOM station as an attacker. So you've already taken out 1 in this scenario, and you are setting the charge and you're waiting for it to explode. You've got the countdown. There's 30 seconds, remember? And then all of a sudden it's about to go off, it's about to explode, and the game is over because somebody bled out. If you are in the middle of a countdown and it is counting down, you've set the charge, it is going, it is counting down, you have a fraction of a second left. If somebody bleeds out, you end the game. You end the game for everybody, and that's the way it goes. So pay attention to the ticket count. You cannot see the ticket count when you're sitting there laying down. So you have to go into your menu to see what is going on. Go into hit your options button on controller, or maybe hit tab on mouse and keyboard to see where you're at, to see the ticket count. The biggest thing about Rush is ticket count. It is your life's blood. You need to pay attention to that. And that's really all there is to it. If you pay attention to that, you help your squad, you help your teammates, that makes Rush go a lot easier. So there you go. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, drop by my streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, ask me some questions, shoot the breeze, or even jump in our Discord. Link in the description down below. All right, well, that's it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, bye for now.